Hi, Artificial Fire Tiger, and here's another episode in our backwards engineering or understanding DIVA presets. And the sound that we're going to look at is not that one because that's our target sound. The sound that we're going to look at is this kind of wispy RP type sound. So we're going to take the parameters from that and bring it into a new blank one, which I played for you just now, which sounds like this. And we're going to take the settings across, and maybe I can explain a few of the settings as we go, and we can all learn something, which will be cool. So we've got our setup here, and they're using a dual VCO. So let's get our VCOs set up, and this one detuned to here. Oh. And it's using this triangle and this triangle and whatever this strange looking pulse, guess it's a pulse. And let's see what our sound sounds like now. So we're in the wrong pitch still, so let's get our transpose in alignment. So it's actually up 12. I think we're in the same pitch now, and let's just take a look at some of these other settings. So to detune this, so the first oscillator is playing on pitch, and the second one is detuned by 4 cents or so, and the mix is flipped over to here. Mainly playing this VCO, and it might be flipping across as we'll work that out in a sec. So then LFO2, it's actually splitting the two VCOs as the signal comes in, and LFO2 is adjusting the sound. Let's just check what LFO2 is doing. It's got a gate square low high wave, so let's get that in with a bit of delay and a sync rate of 1 second. So let's put that in, a little bit of depth going on, and we'll dial in a bit of LFO2. Okay, I can't perceive any sound difference at the moment. Not sure what that is doing, but we'll probably find out as we go through the rest of it. The next one, let's do some filtering pieces. We've got the frequency, which is set to pre-HPF with a bit of frequency coming through. The multi-mode filter, which has got quite a low cutoff, and is using add. We'll go and check the add settings in a second. So we'll dial a bit of add in. It's using the velocity of the key, so that's how hard you hit the key. We'll bring in a bit of a shape on this one, and as you go up the keyboard, so this keyboard, if you play higher notes, it uses more of the filter versus the lower notes. So we'll just go check what the add setting is doing. Oh, the resonance is up slightly, and it's being modified, but we'll come and check that in a second. So we need to go into our modifications, go to add, and see what they've put in theirs. So they're using envelope 1. So envelope 1 and the module. We won't bother with module because I won't demonstrate that. But the envelope 1, we can now go over to envelopes and start getting those in using a digital envelope, using potentially digital envelope here. Yep, 2 digital envelopes. We'll just get the shape in like so, and the sustain is quite low, and now we're getting more of a pluck sound happening. I can hear the one note as playing, and then there's some warbling effects happening somewhere else. So let's work out how those warbling effects are happening. So it's potentially going to be something in the ARP settings. Nope, I can't see anything there. It might be around, okay, this vibrato. So their vibrato is quite high, so what happens is LFO1 affects your vibrato, depending on the rate and so on. It's a triangle randomly coming in, making random moves with a 1 second delay. So let's increase the rate a little bit. Quite a low depth. So now, okay, so now we're getting, let me just turn this up a little bit. So the output is actually higher, so we'll get that. Now we're getting that kind of vibrato effect happening. And ooh, yes, I just wanted to check the other volume setting, which hits in this amplifier. Is actually turned down a little bit. So we get that kind of shaky sound. And I'll be curious to find out what's creating that chirpy noise. So let's see if we can work out, is it going to be something here? Oh, I'm getting a on that resonance potentially. So let's go see what is modifying this resonance. So if we go to modifications and we check this envelope 2 setting here is going in to our resonance, and it's dialed in. How much have I dialed it into? Fairly high. So now we've got a thing modifying our resonance, but it's not creating that chirpy effect. Let's go and find something is creating that chirp sound. Now we need to find out how that chirp sound has been created. Let's turn off their effects. I doubt it is an effect doing that. So let's turn it off. So something is creating a delay type sound. Let's see if there's anything in the voices. They've got less voices. I don't think it's going to create a chirpy sound. And priorities. It's got LFO 2 is following LFO 1, so I'm not sure what how that kind of works. Okay, we're stuck. Okay, there's a bit of phase difference and a bit of delay. It's not going to create a chirpy sound though. There's definitely some strange delay happening somewhere. Is it in amplifications? Trimmers potentially? So trimmers will be adjusting the sound. They've got a lot of changes there potentially. Let's go and play theirs and see if it's doing it with trimmers. It's only playing the one note. So something is weaving up and down to create that, what I call the chirpy sound. So there was a little bit of dial in between VCO1 and VCO2. I thought this was fully across. So VCO2 is actually creating that sound anyway with its detune and oscillator shape. So it's actually dialed in a little bit. And not much, but that's where the chirpy sounds a bit higher than ours. Yep, it's actually up an octave, so let's bang ours up. And there we've got pretty much the same sound. That there's is vibrating doo-doo-doo-doo a bit faster, so it's probably one of these settings down here, and how much speed or depth is being used. Probably in a little bit more rate. Yep. So that's how it's getting that chirpy sound going back and forth. So we'll set it to what theirs is, but you can adjust that. And that's how we create that HS sparkle sound. So the only additional piece is to add a bit of chorus and play in to taste. So we'll add in some chorus and a bit of plate reverb, but that's just candy on the top to add some effects like that. So dial to taste. Cutoff sounds a little bit higher. And that's how you create that HS sparkly sound for the kind of weird sci-fi Martian-y, Moomin type things. Please subscribe. I like to create these videos and I hope that you learn something. I learn something every time I backwards engineer or look at these presets. I learn something new. It's a great way to improve your knowledge of synths and how they work, is to take these presets apart and try and recreate them from scratch, and then you know you've learned a new setting or a new parameter. I hope to see you next time. Keep moving.